April 2nd. This is the Moneyline Grind. My name is Dame. We're back at it. Second day of the month. I have 5 picks for you, 4 NBA, 1 MLB lock. But before we talk about the future, let's talk about the past. We'll begin with saying that my Yankees are undefeated, but that's not what I mean by talking about the past couple of days. We're talking about last night. We went 2-2, and one game was voided. Even though we went 2-2, we did turn a profit. Now we came up 0.12 of a unit. So if you bet $100 a unit, you made $12. Sounds like not a lot, but maybe you get a lunch or half a lunch depending on what city you're working in. Let's recap. We took KD over 24.5. He only finished with 20 points because Devin Booker decided to go nuclear and drop 52. You would imagine if Devin Booker has a regular game, some of those points trickled down to KD and we would have won. We also had Jaylen Brown over 32.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. He actually did not play, so we didn't lose any money. We got our money back there. It was even, the bet is voided, canceled. Nothing there. You get your money back. We took Kobe White over 4.5 assists. He finished with 3 assists, and I was kicking myself because I was torn between either Kobe White or DeRozan to get 5 assists. DeRozan got 5 assists like early in the third. Kobe White did not. And then our winners, we took the Pistons first half minus a half a point against the Grizz, and I love that we took that because the Grizzlies were getting smoked in the first half, but then they came back and actually won the game by 2. So, like I've been saying, I have a great read on the Pistons. I knew that first half they were going to be very solid. I was unsure about the second half because the Grizzlies, a bunch of nobodies who play hard and could defend, and that's what we saw in the second half there. And of course, I did get our MLB bet. We're doing pretty good in MLB. Sooner or later, I'll be able to post those graphics for you. We had the money line on the Cincinnati Reds in Philly. That game goes into the extra innings, and in extra innings, a grand slam occurs. So the Reds win that, and we win the money. That was a plus 20 bet, and that's what really, plus 125, and that's what really pushed us over the edge to make us profitable. Now, our 5 picks, and I've had the first 2 picks I had since last night. I was thinking about maybe posting them somewhere, but I don't want to give them away because I want to reward the people that actually take the time and watch these videos. So I'm torn on what to do when I have early picks. Maybe I'll just throw them in the Discord because there's less people in the Discord and you'd have to be really actively interested in what I got to say to go through the Discord app and check, because that's not like your normal Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. Like Discord, you got to give a little effort. Anyway, first pick, Knicks against the Heat in Miami. I'm taking the money line for the Knicks. That's plus 124 on FanDuel. Knicks won both matchups so far this season, but this will be the first without Randall. Their second matchup, they had OG. They won't have OG now. They're 7-2-1 against the spread this season. 7-2-1 against the spread in the last 10. And it's not often that we actually see the days where they're underdog like tonight, especially to a team where they're overall better. This line is reflecting home court for the Heat, and I think it's a little overvalued. Knicks defense is elite, and their rebounding carries well on the road, being both 4th best rebounding team on the road, 2nd best in offensive board specifically. With the addition of Mitchell Robinson, I can't imagine how they won't be even stronger now. Mitchell Robinson has missed most of the season, so the numbers you see for their rebounds are only a fraction of what they could be when you add Mitch Robinson. And of course, we know he's great. Inside defender. Might make it a little tougher on Bam tonight. We can assume it'll be a low-scoring, grinding, physical game without any freebies. Both teams are elite at not getting their opponent to the free throw line while somehow being able to play aggressive, physical defense. Obviously, clear rivalry game, especially outside of the Tibbs factor here. If you just go historically, Heat, Knicks, Pat Riley, you name it, it's all there. But I think the Knicks are in really, really good form right now, and I think they're very sharp. I think Mitch is a little bit of an X factor to take away the easy buckets in a game that's already going to be somewhat low scoring. I think Brunson does what he does. Almost every single game, he's going to get you 25 plus points, but in an array of ways. And I got the Knicks winning flat out for plus 124. Second pick, Spurs in Denver. Combined score under 223.5, minus 115 on MGM. Nuggets are an elite defensive team at home, and although they're a little banged up, their guys on the bench can actually guard. They come in the game and they play very, very, very hard, and they guard very well. Knowing that they're banged up days in advance leads me to believe that they've had some extended practice time with different units, bringing some guys in the second unit, mixing them in, and getting everyone really acquainted with their stuff and what they're trying to run, both on offense and defense. Spurs have played 9 of their last 10 games at home. And now this young team who's been home, they've been chilling in their crib for a long time, for a couple of weeks, now has to go to the road in a somewhat hostile environment. But what I'm more concerned about is the altitude in Denver. I always like to mention this. Young guys may not know how to really prepare for the thin air in Denver. So look at first quarter, first half props too for the Denver Nuggets, or even an under. Spurs banged up as well. No Vassell, no Keldon Johnson, no Sohan for the rest of the season. I don't really see how they put up much of a fight here. I doubt they get to 100 points. The Denver Nuggets really only have to focus on Wembanyama, and although he always has some type of physical advantage, focusing on one guy, and it makes it a lot easier no matter if he's 7-4. So Wemby gets his 20 plus, but I do think it's a blowout here, and we don't get over 223 points. Third pick, we're going with a cash cow. We need to milk the cows when we need the money. Kawhi Leonard over 24.5 points there. They are in Sacramento. This is minus 110 on MGM. Like I said, cash cow, clear alpha on the team, clear number one choice priority. He will go out of his way to make sure he gets his. I've watched guys like Harden. He has his moments where he wants to shoot the ball. Paul George too. But they're okay with being passive. Kawhi Leonard is not. Kawhi Leonard wants his 25 points. He averages a little under 24. I think it was a 23.7. But he's over this line in 3 of last 4 versus the Kings, scoring 20, which is his under. Then he had 31, 34, and 44. Both teams juggling for position. I'd imagine some solid defense here, and I'd imagine that the Clippers ride on their bull. They figure Kawhi Leonard is going to bring him home. He's able to get to the free throw line. He can guard well. Potentially a slight up-tempo game here, which we don't see Kawhi on the breaks, but in transition, he may be able to get easy bucket. He knows how to get the and one in transition. If you ever watched him play, he plays at his own speed and is very smart, very strong, and can finish around the basket with contact, which I'd imagine he might have to do today. I don't think anybody in the Kings can really guard him. His style is inside, and now he can shoot the three a little bit. So I do like Kawhi Leonard getting that 25 benchmark there. Then our fourth and final NBA pick before we get to our baseball pick. I'm taking Dallas straight up money line in Golden State. This is plus 100 on MGM. Dallas has beat Golden State in both games this season, and they've covered the spread in both. They've covered the spread in 5 games in a row. Dallas also very hot right now, winning 9 of their last 10 and going 9-1 against the spread in that span. I just think Dallas is the better team. I'm really concerned with how the Warriors are going to try to find their points. Obviously, Steph Curry's the guy. Kuminga, questionable. I do think he plays, and that's really their best second scorer on the team. But he's still really rough around the edges. I just think when Dallas is healthy, they're an actual top 4, top 5 team in the West. I really do believe that. They're really, really good when healthy. Especially at home, even though they're on the road this game. When they're banged up, they look abysmal. Even if it's one guy, one of their main starters, if they're not there, they fall off a cliff. So it's really interesting to see. But I do think they have the number of the Warriors, and I do think they end up winning, especially we know Kyrie's history with Steph Curry. He cooks them up pretty often. Now we get to our MLB play. I like Jesus, a.k.a. Jesus Luzardo, over 6.5 strikeouts. He's at home versus the Angels, minus 115. Luzardo, first game of the season, debuted with 8 Ks. He's reached 8 or more strikeouts in 10 of his last 15 games at home in Miami. And Angels, so far, I know it's a short sample size, but they still have the second high strikeout rate. 11 out of the 24 batters that the Angels that have faced Luzardo have struck out. So the numbers are there, the odds are there. We just hope he has his good stuff today. I didn't look at the weather, but I like Luzardo to get us 7 Ks. Hope he gets us 9, so we look like geniuses. Those are my 5 picks. I put them in a parlay. It was lucrative. Plus 28-23, throw a little $10 in there, get a couple hundred. You could buy a couple more lunches if this hits. But let's recap. We got the Knicks money line, Spurs in Denver under 223.5. I got Kawhi Leonard over 24.5. I got the Dallas Mavericks money line and Jesus Luzardo over 6.5 strikeouts. And that'll wrap it up. Good luck to everyone. I hope it goes well. Stay profitable.